My name's Jacob. I left the Pacific Northwest to move to Boston for college 6 years ago, and God used that time to change me in ways I never could have imagined. I went to church with my family growing up, and my parents were even good role models of following Jesus. And to this day, the way they loved me helps me experience how God's love works in my life. But for most of my childhood, I didn't willingly put my own time or effort into a relationship with God. I was just following what my parents did. Because I was in church a lot, playing drums on the worship team, attending youth events, even going on a missions trip, I learned a lot of information about God, but I questioned His presence in my life, and I doubted if He was there at all. I never audibly heard Him in my life or experienced a miracle like the Sunday school stories, but my brother did experience Him, and we had a great relationship, so he shared about that with me. And eventually in high school, during a Good Friday service, I was so moved by the worship, and I saw my sin and I saw my need for Jesus, and I prayed that He would be my Savior. Even though I identified as a Christian from that point on, I didn't fully allow Jesus to impact my life. I didn't let Him have everything. There was still one thing. The most important thing in my life at that time was music. After years of pursuing music as my main goal, I graduated high school and moved to Boston to study at Berklee. It definitely terrified my mom more than me. I was just excited to be living on my own for the first time in a city with new people who didn't have expectations of who I was. It was almost like a video game, and I was able to choose what kind of character I wanted to be. In my first 2 years at Berklee, I lived a double life. I was a Christian if someone asked me, but I didn't live like that behind closed doors or in my relationships. I hadn't experienced the joy in my relationship with God that I heard so many other Christians talk about, and I honestly felt more comfortable around people who didn't follow Jesus. My sense of worth came from everything but God. My relationships, my social status, my skills as a musician, my future career prospects, and I didn't believe that God could give me the same satisfaction. But all these things that I put my hope in failed me. The pressure of music school, the harsh winter totally got to me, and I hit a low point and nearly dropped out. On the outside, it looked like I had a lot going for me, but instead of feeling confident and fulfilled, on the inside I was just anxious, and I never felt good enough. That season made me question my entire identity. But God used that season in my life to reveal my need for Him and to reshape my view of myself and my worth. I left Boston for a summer to stay with my parents, and I used that time to slow down and pray. I went out for a walk one day, and a thought crossed my mind that didn't come from me. I believe it was God saying, "You are my son, and I love you. Music is a gift for you to enjoy, but not to compare with others or find all of your worth." God used my parents, my brother, my friends from church to come alongside me and help me process what I was going through. My view of what's important in life has changed completely. I don't approach music with the same pressure of having to make it big one day, whatever that even means. And sin doesn't just seem like a list of what not to do, but actually a destructive choice that brings pain in my most important relationship. The significance of Jesus' forgiveness seems brand new. I carried a lot of shame from how I lived in college, but Jesus' love and kindness are slowly transforming and healing how I look back on those memories now. I can move on with joy and confidence, knowing that God is with me and that I'm living out my purpose when I follow Him. Even if there are seasons where God feels far, my encounters with Him are undeniable. He was faithful to me in my darkest times when I prayed for help, and He didn't give up on me when I wandered and doubted. My relationship with Him is more real and personal to me after all He's brought me through. Even when I have doubts or I don't feel His presence in my life, that doesn't change how real God is.